Hello, fellow humans. Welcome to Spelunky Daily Challenge Duels. Today is March 20th, 2020. Another entry in an ongoing series. Challenges between me and my friend Jacob at Slightly Absurd. Playing through the Spelunky Daily Challenge, as it affords us a rare opportunity to compare our playthroughs on the same seed without using any mods or tools. I'm not sure if you caught my video yesterday, but if you did, then you'll know that my daily challenge ended within the first 50 seconds of the first level. Because of this, it afforded me the opportunity to send Jacob a message and let him know. Not only was that playthrough a playthrough for the record books, but also that at the end of it I found I had placed second on the leaderboards. Presumably because literally only one other unfortunate soul had completed their daily challenge within the first, we'll say, 5 minutes and 50 seconds of its availability. We've made it through 1-1, so we have already greatly surpassed my run yesterday. I had a feeling that if Jacob saw that run, he might have assumed that I had done it on purpose. Almost sort of taking an own goal or tossing the ball out of bounds so that I don't have to continue to compete. Ugh. Should have known better than to approach that bat the way that I did, but I did not. So, as you may already know, I gave it a couple more playthroughs. Took a couple more chances to get through the mines. And I did not succeed. But it gave me a bit of an opportunity to play through this game without the stress of trying to compete with Jacob. I suppose that made me realize that it's almost silly to have stress playing a game with my friend, as if at the end of the day my digital pile of gold, being smaller than his, is really that big of a deal. Well, we both already know, as I've previously stated, Jacob's pretty damn good at this game. Let's see, compass is 4,000 gold. I think we can come up with 4,000 gold in the next 30 seconds. Especially with the Hulk hands, or climbing gloves. We'll go ahead and get this gem here. Get the hell away from that bomb. I will be sure, since it is something that I am still practicing, to not make too many attempts to cook up a bomb, throw it above me. I always like the opportunity to show off the spirit of dick butt. It doesn't always appear before I make my exit out of the level. That is another creation of my friend Jacob. Also of note, he sent me today a picture that he drew in MS Paint while watching an episode of The Joy of Painting, Bob Ross. Some of you may have grown up with The Joy of Painting, Bob Ross. Basically, public access equivalent of vocalized Quaaludes. Where a man with 9 fingers would create paintings I may never be able to create in about a half an hour. And while doing so, just shoot the shit. Much like you're seeing me do today. Bob Ross was also somebody who liked to celebrate what he called happy accidents. I'm not sure how happy of an accident it is to let a bomb explode in your face. But you may have found it entertaining if you watched it. Pretty sure Jacob found it entertaining. And after the initial shock wore off, I kind of found it entertaining as well. Oh, should have seen that spider. But anyway, as I was saying, Jacob's filming a new series of MS Paint with Bob Ross for his YouTube channel. I'm sure I'll do one of those up in the top right corner links so that you can check that out for yourself. I really can't stress it enough. Keep bringing it up. Jacob is the kind of person who's humble, that we can acknowledge his skill. It's a little awkward around compliments sometimes. But that shit is pretty good. Might have inadvertently ghosted that gem, so we're going to try to not. Sort of set a soft rule that we wouldn't be doing that just because it's time consuming, firstly. Also because I'm not particularly that good and adept at dodging this spirited dick butt without usually amusing results. Oh, you know, we've already got the head jet, which I sort of forgot I was going to look through the level for. We're going to move on to 1-4. Get our rude gesture and a point of health from Mr. Beercat. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee, and we're gonna move on. Not doing badly on resources. One downside to carrying that mattock around, pickaxe. You can't necessarily use it in the air, unless you time your jumping and swinging just right. Oftentimes when there's a bat flying near you, that can be a detriment to your purposes. Well, that's a shame. Normally I like to use the spider web underneath the spider to blow him up. As you can see, that one has already been, I guess we'll say, touched, interacted with. Have to excuse my microphoning here. I do have monitoring on, so every now and then I can tell that my breath is a little, sounds a bit windy. Probably hear me adjusting that. But hey, it's all a bit of a learning process right now. Got some growing pains. A good example of which would be cooking up a bomb. Blowing yourself up with it. We are going to go ahead and... Isn't quite what I intended. We are going to toss Mr. Beercat on this shrine. Teleport him to a nice farm upstate, where he can hang out with all the other Beercats. Smoke cigarettes or cigars. Drink stiff drinks like martinis. Make other, possibly poor decisions if he so chooses. Alright. Our finite Maddock has run out. Got a ghost headed our way in just a moment. So I'm gonna grab this pot. Hope it's not a spider. It is. Allow him to suicide himself on the spikes. We're gonna get out of here. I forgot I grabbed the Kapala in the last level. It's always helpful. Gaining more health. That was ill-advised. Luckily it was a gem. Got this custom designed boomerang from Jacob. And speaking of which, getting back to Jacob. His joy of MS painting. Really impressive. I've known Jacob for longer than I'm comfortable admitting. Not because of Jacob, but just, you know. I think it's the human nature. Denying your own age. Especially as you get longer in the tooth. As they say. If they are from the sticks. Or the swamps, I suppose. But I remember dabbling in MS Paint with Jacob. Probably back when it was the only option for creating digital art. Not the only option, but the only one that presented itself to us at the time. I'd say those gems are probably worth a bomb. But to see some of the things that guy creates now, using, and I can't reiterate this enough, MS Paint. Very impressive. Recall having seen any indication of the black market. That was a bad jump. That was poor decision. I thought I was going to make it. I don't remember seeing the black market or any indication of it anywhere in this level. I'm not sure that I fully explored the top left corner. I'm going to throw caution to the wind and just continue further. I did mention to Jacob that watching Bob Ross is always a soothing endeavor. Oh, man. Well, that will be the end of that. I'd like to just blame my controller, but tried to land on that guy's head and it just did not work out. Use the leaderboards. Look at that, number 13. Not bad. Well, I suppose we will head back into the Eternal Caves for a little while. As I was saying previously, before I was so rudely interrupted by the spikes, one of my talents is playing the drums. I'll occasionally video myself playing the drums. Do a cover song that someone has requested. But I've found, and I think you'll probably agree, that listening to someone play the drums, not nearly so soothing. Particularly not for my neighbors in close proximity. We are going to use this bat to save a rope. And we are not going to make it. I'm going to use that rope. It's a bit unfortunate that daily challenge duels have been both, though they have been daily, not been quite so challenging or much of a duel. Why not? Recalling as I just have that this is not a daily challenge. But in fact, it's just yet another fun run, race for the cure. I don't think I'm going to make that jump. As I said, I do have some videos playing the drums on here. Not quite as soothing as watching someone create art. But it has its ups. It's very relieving for those of you that may have stress, pent-up frustration, some of the more negative emotions. And if you'd like to deal with those emotions in a probably unhealthy manner, then perhaps playing the drums is for you. Also, if you're someone who, like in my case, happens to be a bit rhythmically inclined, do recall, as many as you probably do, going through school and you have those days where you go and you try out for the band. They give you the, say, the mouthpiece to a trumpet. I'm gonna take advantage of a weird loophole here and toss the idol on the shrine and stop that boulder from falling. Get a monkey that poops out valuables. But on that day, they took us in and let us try out to see which instruments we might be best suited for. I found a complete inability to make the reed do anything at all. I could play the trumpet a little, at least the mouthpiece of the trumpet, I suppose. But me and that reed didn't accomplish anything more than my lightheadedness. I'm gonna go ahead and hang out with this monkey for a little while longer. It is a bit of a waste to take the idol and put it on the shrine. You don't quite get the same value out of it, but it does keep you in those circumstances like I was in from destroying both the shrine and the shop, possibly the beer cat. I suppose if you were more enterprising, you could just run around the level and allow the ghost to chase you and take full advantage of that monkey's, we'll say, digested generosity. But I am usually not the type to do so. Not quite the arc that I was hoping for. But getting back to the story, I was stumbling around. I did find that I had a natural affinity for playing the drums. It's actually something that I discovered at a friend's house on his friend's drums. And that friend really liked his drumsticks. If any of you have seen the movie Step Brothers, picture something similar to that, just with the sticks. Very valuable to him. Spent some money on them. Anybody touching his drumsticks. And it was because of this idiosyncrasy, this personal quirk, that I learned how to play the drums with a couple of plastic coat hangers. After a couple of sessions of dinking around and playing some punk rock music, as we thought it might have been, I had to go out and get myself some drums. It's that time again for a rude gesture and a sip of coffee. And perhaps even ironically making it further than we did in the daily challenge. Which, as they say, is becoming my brand. I don't know who says, but I've heard them. I'm sure you heard them. They do say it. Quirk of the game I always forget is if you use those pots to kill an enemy, you're not going to get a gemstone out of them. And as I often do, I grab the pot and throw it expectantly, hoping to get a gem, and at the very least a spider. And for some reason, I'm often surprised by the lack of both. I hear Mr. Beer Cat. I'm not sure he's worth the resources it would require to get to him, considering the lack of anything else valuable down there. I'm gonna grab my worry stone. It's a pile of gold. Get out of here. Off to the jungle. Not sure on the exact physics of where that rock was going to explode, but I've often found that it manages to arc directly toward me. Oh, that was a shame. Take this idol. Drop it in the shop. Another mechanic that I was not aware of initially. So you could sell those idols to the shopkeepers. Jetpack is usually pretty valuable. I say usually, I mean I guess that's usually worth the cost of buying it rather than just grabbing it and diving off. Which I think I may have done yesterday's video. Oh no, it seems as though we injured Mr. Beercat. This chest. Another mechanic you may not be aware of, you can grab those chests or even the crates. You hit up and the action button, you can open them. Which doesn't really always matter that much. Occasionally, if you get a bomb out of those, and you're in the kind of circumstances where you're down to using red frogs to try to find the black market, something that can help you in a pinch is carrying one of those chests and just crossing your fingers and hoping that there's a bomb in it. Oh man, somehow managed to not only not get sticky bombs, but then forget that that was the case, which hopefully explains what just happened there. Probably hear my extremely angry dog right now. Very disappointed that there are chipmunks in our neighborhood. Letting them know exactly what she thinks about them. Exactly what she thinks about me recording a video. I was going to make an attempt to get Mr. Beercat to that shrine. Spend a little bit of time looking for the black market entrance, but now we've got the encroaching spirit of Mr. Dickbutt on his way. I think we can pretty confidently say that the black market is not in this level. Take along my worry stone. Try not to get lost. Labyrinthine corridors of this jungle. And move along. Sip of coffee. And we're off. For some reason I was still misremembering that I had the Kabbalah. It's definitely from our daily challenge run. Looks as though Mr. Beercat has availed himself to us. Because of my having grabbed the jetpack previously. The only time I value those tiki traps being around is when I have one of those man-eating plants nearby. Let's see, that was not intended. I was about to say we're going to try a trick shot here. Just flaccidly tossed a bomb into the pool of water there. I suppose it's worth a rope for stability. Get just the right spot. You can whip that jerk. Knock the boomerang right out of his hands. Rescue Mr. Beercat. They are not shy about the inclusion of those man-eating plants in this level. Make a cautious ascent here, in case there are monkeys. I seem to have dropped Mr. Beercat into this terrible pit of despair, from which he will not be returning. At least not alive. Do not appreciate this frog. It is time to go. I'll take a worry skull in lieu of my worry stone. We got a little bit of time to pick up some gold. And away we go. Alright, we've got a Restless Dead level, which means vampires. Spooky vampires. Something I learned, I believe, from Belargo's channel. That these vampires will actually absorb your blood the same way that you will when you've got a Kabbalah for the enemies. And it heals them. Which I did not know. That's the kind of thing that, once you find out, you can't help but say, oh, that's neat. In practice, generally just pisses you off. Because those guys are already, usually, pretty difficult to kill. Got the tinkering of a black market somewhere nearby. Cautiously and fearfully fire my shotgun into the distance. Parachutes, mostly, find some way to drop me into the abyss, or this is interesting. So we got a black market here underneath the King's Grave, I think it is. That's why there's a crown there. For those of you who don't know, it's a secret level here underneath the skeleton with the crown on it. I guess we can see what's in this shop real quick. Not enough money for a bomb box. Although I think I will have, if I take this crystal skull. Wish I knew how much that was worth. We're gonna have a ghost showing up here soon anyway, so why not too? 76,000. So let's see. Take our time popping down in here. We'll certainly have enough for a bomb box and the Ankh in the next level. Go ahead and try to keep this spear to dick butt somewhere near the bottom. We can flop right over him there and make our way to the black market. Oh, and another beer can. One thing I've wondered is, you rescue the damsel, you get him through the level, take him to the end of the level, and then they just sort of stay there? One might assume, you know, you see them in the next level, it's just, unless there's them finding their way further into the level and getting themselves lost again, but those of you familiar with the settings will know that you can change the damsels to a man in a bow tie, or a woman in a red dress, a little dog, who in our case has been replaced by Mr. Beercat. And if you played on Sociable, there's also Little sloth sprite. He shows up so infrequently that when he did, I didn't quite recognize what I was hearing. You know, I should have bought the spike shoes. I suppose we'll blow this up here. But also in the options, regarding the damsels, is the choice to have them be random. If you set them to random, they will change from level to level. Or at least they can change. I won't say they will. Speak in such concrete language. But it sort of takes away any explanation of the damsels between level conundrum that I have perplexed myself with occasionally while playing this game. Go ahead and go for this sapphire here. Already forgotten the layout of the level. Whether or not it's safe for me to drop. The paste is pretty invaluable, but there's a chance we'll find a spider. Spike shoes are something you only find from the Yeti King. They're in a crate, which is less likely. Well, I really feel like fighting my way out of here for a pair of spike shoes, so I don't know if that's worth a couple of bombs to get that emerald. I suppose it's time to leave. And we're off to the ice caves. Of course, these ice caves will be absolutely fraught with valuables. And things that would have much more easily been taken care of if I had grabbed some spike shoes. Slippery ice. There's a spring down there that's going to bounce me back up if I try to flop myself down. A couple of mammoths here that can be difficult to get by. In either direction. So maybe we could take care of that. Take advantage, rather, of that alien's laser blasts. And there we go. Grab our valuables. Hope that perhaps there will be a nearby shop. Which is very unlikely, but possible. I have previously blown myself up in these situations of trying to use that mine to get that alien to come up a little higher. Doesn't make it any more likely to happen this time, but it does make me act a little more cautiously. Sort of affects your decision making for a couple of playthroughs when you do something like that. Though to be fair, generally when you're playing this game, you aren't really just rolling the dice, praying to RNGesus take pity on your soul. One nice thing about the jetpack is it does afford you a little bit of stability when you are sliding around on the ice. So just pull yourself into the air slightly. Certainly be taking advantage of that mechanic today. I would like to rescue Mr. Beercat. I'm not sure he's worth the trouble. I would also like to kill these idiots. Similarly, not necessarily worth the trouble. I suppose I will drop my shotgun near the exit. Make our way up to Mr. Beercat. Another weird idiosyncrasy of this game that you'll find is if you jam on the throttle of the jetpack, it will run out sooner than if you were to just tap away at it. You can in fact get higher with it in short bursts. Something that I also wasn't aware of originally, and it's taken a little time to get used to. After a while, it sort of becomes a natural reaction to using the jetpack. Probably end up coming back for that item. In fact, we're going to go ahead and grab it now. Set it aside here. Just for simplicity's sake. We have slightly less distance to travel to retrieve it. And in the off chance that I forget, go running back for it. I have to run across the top of those spikes with a limited amount of time. Alright, got some fish bones. Piranha skeleton, I suppose. Still no spike shoes. Something that I definitely need to remember. There's nothing quite like taking a running leap of faith onto some ice, forgetting that you do not have the spike shoes. I'm not sure if this is a situation I could get around. Oh yeah, there we go. Ironically, was just about to whip Mr. Beercat out of there and managed to grab him instead. Sorry there, little buddy. Grab that previously mentioned idol. I don't see a Moai head in this level, which means that it's time to get out. Alright, 3-3. I think we've definitely surpassed the runtime. Oh, there we are again. Forgetting that I do not have the spike shoes. It's just sort of the situation I was describing earlier. Somehow, by the grace of RNGesus, we have come out from that unscathed. Mostly technical prowess on my behalf. A lot of clever dodging and fast fingery. Hi. There we are. Let's get to this crate. Another parachute, unfortunately. Well, that was just poor planning. And I got some time here. Go ahead and run up and grab Mr. Beercat. So we rescue Mr. Beercat in this level. In my case, blow myself up, so that the Ankh will revive me inside of the Moai head. Like so. It still recalls that you rescued Mr. Beercat, and you'll still get your point of health at the end of the level. Start back off with a default of 4. And then Mr. Beercat will boost you back up to 5. Just like that. Another moment where I recall that I do not have the spike shoes. It's going to take at least a landmine to deal with these fools. We do have an entrance to the mothership, which I do generally avoid. It's quite explosive inside the mothership. That was unfortunate. Ooh, that was nearly more unfortunate. Hitting below the bottom out of his vault. Fortunately lost my shotgun in that exchange. Less unfortunately lost that Yeti's corpse. Or still a live body, I suppose. Here's something I don't know. If I go into the mothership now, will Anubis spawn in 4-2? Not really something I'm willing to test right now. Oh, and here we have the Tunnel Man. Yeah, we'll give you 3 rows. I think I've said previously in other videos, possibly not in this one yet, but mostly played through this game on console. Console edition. XBLA edition, I think they might call it, officially. Now we are presented with the task of blowing up Anubis. That's sticky bombs. And I believe this has presented me with a unique situation in which it's not all that difficult to do, somehow. And it looks like we've managed to do so. Now that is an interesting situation. I think this is the solution. Appears as though it was. Crush Trap very nearly could have destroyed the Scepter. If I had made one of a couple of different choices to approach it there. Similarly, there's that one there. And then we've got this guy. We're going to go ahead and exit the level. It's not entirely impossible to just jump on the shopkeepers' heads. Take care of that whole situation at once. Not something I really feel like dealing with. So usually when there's one mummy, there's a chance of two. There's definitely not a chance of 2 mummies there. So we hopefully zap the shopkeeper. Grab ourselves a shotgun. See if we can't find the entrance to the City of Gold. My concern is that it's over there. Not sure by the level design. No, I guess not. That was just a sarcophagus I was seeing. Ah, that's right there. Spire guys did manage to take care of the mummy for me. Grab our shotgun. Our ruby. Not tempt fate with that crush trap necessarily. Bad idea to get it to move upward. really see any resources that are easy to grab, so I'm going to go ahead and leave. And we're off to the City of Gold. I finally made it, he says. Completely unironically. Not knowing just how hard we've tried to get here. Oh, and then blown ourselves up in the process. Well, with that, we have our daily challenge duel. Be sure to dislike that video if you disliked it. Subscribe for more content. Check out Slightly Absurd and his MS painting with Bob Ross. Seriously, the guy's really talented. Go over there and harass him a little and tell him I sent you. Okay, bye.